Shalom, giving all praises and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Bakakadash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and Shalom to the Archeum, teaching this word around the globe with faith, truth, and sincerity. I'm the brother Caleb from the GMS London Forecasters Camp, back with another lesson to help edify the Lord's elect. As always, I'd like to start by saying that we are the real Hebrew Israelites, and the real Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indians, West Africans predominantly. However, you will find Israelites that do look like the other nations, because we have been scattered amongst all nations throughout our various captivities. But if your sea line by your forefathers goes back to the man in the Bible that was named Israel, then you too are an Israelite, no matter what you may look like, because the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18 states that your nationality is determined by the lineage of your forefathers. So in this lesson, I'd like to go into this article that was posted on the chat by some brothers. It's from the Mail Online, and it says, startling new figures show even more Australians are dying than first feared after a report found excess deaths are the highest since World War II. People don't want to talk about it. So it says there were over 25,000 deaths in the last year. That's 15% above the average Australian average mortality rate. Senators push for inquiry into the high numbers. Now, for those of you who have been keeping track of events, Australia is one of the countries where they were pushing the serpent's juice the hardest. You know, a lot of people in Australia were forced to take that thing. When I say forced, I should say pressured into taking that thing. So it's no surprise that now they're seeing the mortality rate higher than ever before. So it says Australians are dying at a rate not seen since wartime. But politicians are ignoring demands to find out why, critics say. In 2022, there were 25,235 more deaths than would be expected in a normal year, 10,095 of which were directly caused by C-19, with another 3,000 where the virus was just a contributing factor. The rate of excess deaths is calculated on a historical average of mortality for a given period and is weighed for shifting demographics, such as an aging population. Last year saw excess mortality running at 15% above the expected number of deaths, which is a rate of death Australia has not seen in 80 years since World War II. According to Australian Bureau of Statistics, ABS figures released last week. The final ABS figures for 2022 are higher than the 12% rate of excess mortality reported for that year by Actuaries Institute reported in March. The jump in deaths led to a Senate motion 2 weeks ago sponsored by Victorian UAP Senator Ralph Barbet to hold an inquiry into the excess deaths, but this was voted down by the government and crossbench senators. Queensland LNP Senator Gerard Rennick spoke in support of the motion, saying that statistically such a jump in deaths was a 1 in 1,000 event. We deserve an inquiry, he said. On Wednesday, Sydney Talkback Radio 2GB host Ben Fordham joined calls to a probe into why Australians are dying in such comparatively high numbers. Sadly, people in power don't want to talk about it, Fordham said. Does it have something to do with our one-track focus on C19 and other diseases and illnesses that were forced to the back seat while we fought off C19? Fordham pointed out a warning issued by Cancer Australia in September 2021, noting that biopsies, scans and surgeries for the disease have plummeted in 2020 because of C19 lockdowns, meaning that up to 20,000 cases may have been missed. In 2022, the ABS recorded 10,000 more cancer deaths than the historical norm, representing a 5% increase in mortality from the disease. However, according to the ABS, the majority of excess deaths in 2022 were C19 related. Yeah, it's a bit of a long-ass article, but I'm going to jump to the point, man. Leviticus 19 verse 28 says, "Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh." Let me read that again. Leviticus 19 verse 28 states that you shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am Yahweh. So we're not supposed to be getting injections according to the Holy Scriptures, because that represents cutting in the flesh. So that's the first red flag in all of this thing. That if you're someone who's in the truth, you should be cognizant of. The second red flag is this. Never trust thine enemy. Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not altogether been wiped away. Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. So a lot of those people who took that serpent's juice, they were pricked therewith, because they trusted their enemy, they trusted the government, and the government done led them down a dark path into a ditch, and they're falling into that ditch now, and now they're lamenting because their health is shot, their mortality rate has been sliced in half. I mean, their lifespan has been sliced in half, and now they're looking all sad and forlorn because of it. Well, if you'd have adhered to the scriptures in the first place and never acquiesced to the enemy and his wickedness, then maybe you wouldn't be in such a dire situation where your health is concerned right now. So, in reading that article, you can extrapolate and read between the lines as to why the mortality rate has doubled in Australia since the C19 incident. When really you think it should be halved, wouldn't you? If this serpent's juice was doing what it was, as they claimed it said on the tin, shouldn't the mortality rate be lower rather than higher? Well, it goes to show that it was never for the people's benefit, it's all for the people's destruction. Now, I have to be very careful in my wording because, Esau comes down hard on videos speaking about this topic, so I'm being very careful in the choice of words that I use in talking about this. The Lord willing, I've been able to make the point and convey the point. So with that, giving all praises, honor and glory once again unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of great North done it all well. Shalom to the Archaean teaching this word around the globe with faith and truth and sincerity. I'm going to close this one out, and I'll catch you on the next Lord willing. Shalom for now. Welcome, Shalom.